I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care.
So are we doing tour?
Hey guys, welcome back to a whole new video, and today I'm doing what if Naruto was banished. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, so let's begin. Well, in this story, everything goes according to canon, where the entire whole thing goes according to canon, except in this timeline, Naruto is hated a little bit more and Sasuke is loved a lot more. So, yeah. So we start off with the Sasuke retrieval arc. Naruto was able to bring back Sasuke, but instead of him, never mind. Naruto was able to bring back Sasuke instead of him losing. So yeah, but once he got back to the village, people started giving him dirty looks due to reasons that I think we all know. But if you don't know, it was due to Naruto coming back with a hurt Sasuke, which the whole village loved. So after Naruto and Sasuke went to the hospital and got their treatment, Sasuke was passed out, but due to the Nine Tails chakra, Naruto was able to heal quickly. And when he woke up, an Anbu came into his room and invited him in and told him that the Hokage was looking for him. Once Naruto got into Tsunade's office, Tsunade told Naruto that he would be banished from the village. Naruto was kind of surprised. He yelled, "Wait!" But he was kind of angry in a way because he never thought that he would be banished after he just came back from a mission and was still injured. But whenever Naruto tried to reason with Tsunade, she said it wasn't her choice. The council, specifically the civilian and the elders, voted on the idea of you being banished. The shinobi side and I could not do anything about it. In 3 hours, you will need to leave. Naruto, still in pain from his fight with Sasuke, tried to get up so that he could not listen to her anymore, but failed. Tsunade sighed again and said, "Also, they voted on your chakra to be permanently sealed off, including the Kyuubi, whatever you want to call it. I'll say Kyuubi for now." With this, Naruto looked at the older lady with complete shock and said, "What?" And the older lady sighed yet again. "I'm sorry." Naruto simply slumped and said, "Very well, if it's what they want, so be it." With this, Tsunade left the room with nothing said. As Naruto was resting for a few minutes, the door suddenly opened to reveal Sakura, Ino, Neji, Lee, and even Hinata with angry faces plastered on their face, which was kind of surprising to Naruto due to him never really seeing Hinata that angry. Naruto then gulped as Sakura suddenly ran up to him and gave him a punch to the face while yelling, "You demon! I knew that from the start that something was wrong about you. Did you enjoy what you did to Sasuke?" Naruto simply got his arm in a defensive pose, only for Neji and Hinata to use their Byakugan on him and seal off his chakra points. With this, Naruto's arms were rendered useless. Neji then smirked while saying, well, dang it, I messed up. Neji and Hinata used their Byakugan to hit Naruto's pressure points in his arm, rendering his arm useless. Neji then smirked while saying, "If it wasn't for that fox, you would never have been. If it wasn't for that fox, you would never have been beaten me." What? Dang it. If it wasn't for that fox, you would have never beaten me, you demon. Meanwhile, Hinata said, "Yeah, I can't believe that I could even have loved you from the start." This caused Naruto's eyes to think while he was thinking, "Wait, she loved me? In which the fox in his mindscape answered, yup. Naruto then gave up and decided to endure whatever punishment he was given as the Kyuubi or Kurama inside him would fix as much damage as possible. But he wouldn't help but to notice that something inside him was resonating. As Lee ended it with a leaf hurricane, Shikamaru, Chino, Choji, Kiba, and Tenten came in, and Shikamaru said, "Hey, leave Naruto alone." With this, the thing that was resonating with Naruto mysteriously disappeared, and he felt better. Naruto's attackers snorted and then left the room. As Neji was leaving, he simply bumped into Shikamaru's shoulder and walked off. Shikamaru then sighed and sat on a nearby stool while saying, "Sorry about that, Naruto. One of the elders decided to reveal the fox inside you." Naruto then flinched and expected an attack from Shikamaru, only for him to stand up and say with a smile, "But I only see Naruto, not a demon fox." With that, Naruto opened his eyes and teared up to know that some of his friends still think of him as a friend and not a demon. As his remaining friends left, a familiar gravity-defying gray-haired and partially masked ninja who went by the name of Kakashi suddenly appeared in a Shisui, sunshine, whatever, Shunsan, and sighed. He then gave Naruto his infamous eye smile while saying, "How are you doing, Naruto?" Naruto simply shrugged and said, "I don't even know, Sensei." Kakashi sighed again and placed his hands on the boy's shoulder while saying, "I'm sorry this happened to you. I wish that I could have been a better sensei towards you. If only I refused the civilians' wishes back then I would have taught you the Rakiri." A tear suddenly dropped from his visible eye and continued saying, "And now this happened to you, and it's all my fault." The Jonin then dropped to his knees while crying, sniffling, and sobbing uncontrollably. Naruto could not help but to get up, even with a lot of pain, to hug him. The student and teacher stayed like that for a few minutes. "Not a ship, you creeps." As Kakashi let go of the hug, a random Ambu appeared out of nowhere and said, "Naruto Namankaze, you are now needed at the gates of Konoha. You are now needed at the gates of Konoha for your chakra to be sealed." Oh yeah, by the way, he took the last name Namikaze, but nobody realized that he was Minato's son because they're stupid. Yeah, I really don't like the Leaf Village, to be honest. I only like a few people. With that, Naruto nodded and tried to get up, only for the pain to be quite unbearable. Kakashi simply gave the young boy a piggyback ride, and Shunsin, whatever, and sunshined to the destination. As they got there, a bunch of rotten food were thrown towards Naruto, and the young boy didn't do anything about it. He knew that a lot of people would be there, but not everyone from Konoha. It went like this for a few more seconds until Dry appeared behind Naruto in a sunshine and whispered, "I'm sorry, Naruto. I wish this didn't have to happen." Naruto simply nodded as Jiraiya placed the chakra-consuming seal on his back. As Naruto stiffened, almost everyone that there enjoyed what they were witnessing. Naruto then felt as if all his chakra and the Kyuubis were being taken away from him. Unknown to him and the others, this would affect someone else. At a random temple. Yeah. Don't ask. Don't ask. Now we see a blonde-haired and blue-eyed man who was in his 30s named Minato, alongside with his wife in red hair and green eyes named Kushina, and a daughter who was the carbon copy of her father named Natsumi. These were the remaining Namikaze family other than Naruto. It turned out during the sealing of the Nine Tails, Minato actually split the Yin chakra into Naruto, while the Yang chakra was split into Natsumi. They also decided to leave Naruto with his godparents while they trained Natsumi outside of Konoha. As Naruto's chakra was sealed, Natsumi suddenly felt pain in her stomach and shrieked as she was on the floor. With this, Minato and Kushina ran towards their daughter to see that her seal marks suddenly turned to lava-like red. Minato then widened his eyes and said in shock, "The Yin chakra, it's merging with the Yang one inside of her." Kushina then widened her own eyes and shouted, which could only mean. Then both parents shouted in unison, though it was kind of stupid, not gonna lie, "Naruto." Minato then quickly fixed the seal and went to pack up so they could have a reunion with their son. Unfortunately, they were too late, as Naruto was already on his way out of Konoha. At the gates of Konoha, Naruto simply sighed as he said his goodbyes towards his remaining friends, including the Konohamaru corpse, his godparents, and surprisingly Kakashi and Suzune were fiddling with each other's hands. He already said goodbye to the Ichirakus, and they gave him one last ramen on the house. Ayame could not help but hug the young not ninja anymore, while Taiuchi gave the boy some of his ramen recipes so that he won't forget how his ramen tastes. Now, when he went to say goodbye to Tsunade, he quickly ripped off the necklace that was given to him and gave it to her while saying, "Sorry, Grandma, but I can't have this in my possession anymore." Tsunade didn't say anything, but teared up and grabbed the necklace. As Naruto was about to walk off towards the sunset, he turned his head towards Kakashi and Shizune while saying, "Sensei, don't get Shizune Nichan pregnant, okay?" Kakashi simply nodded and gave the boy a pat on the shoulder while giving his infamous eye smile. With that, Naruto walked off towards the sunset. Unknown to him, a familiar brown-haired Asian man who was wearing a pink t-shirt, a black jacket with a twin lens reflex camera hung around his neck, and a pair of jeans, and his brother who was wearing a gray dress shirt, a pair of black pants, and a cravat hung around his neck, were observing him from the trees to make sure that no one from the route tried to attack the young boy. This was Tsukasa Kodoya and Levi Ackerman Kodoya, the destroyer of worlds, and his brother Tsukasa was also known as Decade, while Levi was known as Dark Decade. Don't ask why. This is not the Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. So no. Probably is. I don't know. I don't know. All this is coming off the top of my head, to be honest, because I watched Attack on Titan like 5 minutes ago. Don't ask. As Naruto was walking towards a nearby cliff, a random root ninja appeared out of nowhere and tried to stab the young boy with his tanto or katana or whatever, only for Tsukasa to shoot the root ninja in the chest with the right booker in blast mode, while Levi handled the other root ninjas by using the experience as a soldier during his fight against the Titans. Dang it. Yeah, it is Levi. Sorry. As this happened, Naruto simply in awe from watching two men battling hard trained, emotionless ninjas without a single hint of chakra usage. This caused Naruto to think, what do they want from me? As Tsukasa and Levi killed them off, Tsukasa said, "Hey Naruto, we would like to help you out." Levi then continued in his emotionless tone. You see, after you heard that you were being banished, you were falling into despair. But luckily, the fox, your remaining friends and sensei helped you to hold back your phantom, and you found hope. Tsukasa then nodded and said, "So now you can use magic, I guess." With this, Naruto couldn't help but to laugh, only to find out that both men weren't bluffing. Tsukasa then smirked as Levi snapped his fingers to reveal a brown-haired man in a red shirt, black leather jacket, and a pair of red pants and a pair of black boots. This was Haruto Soma, and beside him was a red-haired, very busty woman in armor and pretty short skirt. This was Urza Scarlet, or rather Urza Soma, as they were married. Yeah, as both magic users appeared out of nowhere, Haruto smiled towards Naruto and gave him a pat on the shoulder while saying, "Hi Naruto, I'm Haruto Soma, but you could call me Tosan." He then shot his thumb towards his wife and said, That's Urza-chan, my wife, so you can call her Kasan." This made Naruto eyes widen while thinking, "Are they adopting me?" In which Levi answered Naruto's question. "Yes, they are, Naruto." Tsukasa then continued, "Not only that, you will be able to use a certain armor." This made Naruto's raise his eyebrows, confused by what the destroyer of worlds meant. Tsukasa simply chuckled and looked at Haruto while making a look that said, "Do it." Haruto sighed and placed a certain ruby-colored ring on his middle finger. He then places his other hand on a buckle with a scanner on it. The belt then suddenly announced, "Drive on, please." He then flicked a button on the driver and it then announces, hold up for a second. Anyway, I'm back, guys. So, yeah. He then flicked the button on the driver and it shouted, "Shabadubi, touch to henshin. Shabadubi, touch to henshin. Shabadubi, touch to henshin." Haruto then said henshin, then flicked his ring to reveal a familiar masked creature. It then happened in a flash when Haruto transformed into an armored creature with a red chest plate, a ruby-like helmet, and some braces around the wrists and ankles. This was Kamen Rider Wizard in flame style. Haruto, hold up. Let me show you a picture of what it looks like. Anyway, so this is what it looks like, if you are wondering. So, yeah. Power Ranger? Not really. Anyway. Haruto then suddenly announced as he flared his ring, "Showtime, duh!" This caused Naruto to widen his eyes in amazement. The boy then looked to his new mother as her armor suddenly transformed as well into a black-colored armor with silver trimming that has silver crosses in several places. It was a revealing silver-edged this is the It was a revealing silver-edged breastplate with plates flanking her hips, which reached down to her waist. The waist guard leaves the front of Urza's body exposed with her groin being covered by a black imbuement. She has I'm brainstumped. Whatever. She has large breastplates guarding her legs. She has two wings that have black metal arms attacking, no, acting as the wings' landing structure, but the parts used to fly are composed by an umbrella-like material. Her hair was also tied in a ponytail. Yeah, if any of you have watched Fairy Tale, you'll know what it looked like. Anyway, this was her black wing armor. Urza simply smirked and said, "This is my re-equip magic. It allows me to change my armor anytime I want. Though I'll be teaching you sword fighting." Naruto then yet again widens his eyes, if they could go wider, while thinking, "Awesome!" The boy then looked at Tsukasa and Levi to say thank you, but Tsukasa stopped him and said, "No, wait. We've got more." This made Naruto confused as Tsukasa was about to snap his fingers only for a strange magic circle out of nowhere. Only for a strange magic circle to appear out of nowhere and revered bearded, black-haired with streak of white on his hair in blue robes, a red mantle with golden details, a pair of pants that matched the robes, and a pair of brown boots. The man then suddenly announced, "No need to summon me, Tsukasa. Dang it. No need to summon me, Tsukasa, or my wife, too. She'll be here soon." Tsukasa chuckled and said, "Very well." The man identified as Dr. Strange sighed and said, "Shut up." So yeah, I am adding Marvel characters here. Deal with it. I will be adding a lot of people here, so yeah. Tsukasa then sighed and said, "Ha ha ha, very funny, Strange. My name isn't Sekase. You want to take this outside?" The doctor then said, "We're already outside, destroyer of worlds, dumbass." Yeah, excuse me for my language, but I had to say, I've kept that in my system all day. In which Naruto raised his hands and said, he's Mr. Strange. Strange then sighed and said, "It's Doctor." Naruto then did a "oh" gesture and said, "So, Doctor Strange?" The Sorcerer Supreme then sighed again and said, "My name is Stephen Strange. My friends call me Doctor Strange because I used to be a neurosurgeon, and the Sorcerer Supreme in my world. And I'm guessing that you're Naruto, am I right? Because you look like one." This made Naruto to eye widen in amazement at how fast the Sorcerer Supreme spoke. He then blinked and asked, while pointing his finger up, "Can you repeat that?" Doctor Strange just sighed and said blankly, "No." Naruto then was the one to sigh, and suddenly another magic circle appeared out of thin air, but it was pink this time, which caused Strange to shudder. As a pink-haired lady with a backless dress, thereon jacket with robe-style kikuzushi going down her hand. She also had jacket sleeves covering her hands and a purple bat ring on the right finger. She also had a golden ring on her left left ring finger, which meant she was married. The very pretty lady came out. She twisted Stefan's ear while shouting, "Doctor Strange, you idiot!" Leaving Frill and I to take care of the children by ourselves. Good thing we're married, or else I would have made sure that we will never have another child. The poor sorcerer just did a pained expression and dang, why does this keep happening? Is something wrong with my phone? Whatever. The poor sorcerer did a pained expression and whimpered while saying, okay. Ah! While everyone else just laughed. Even Naruto, who thought that seeing a very masculine sorcerer being forced to listen to their wife's rambling, who was shorter, skinnier, and smaller compared to him. The mage identified as Meiji. Dang, I'm making up random ass things. Alright, think. Meiji then looked at Naruto, whose eyes were widened and was kinda in shock. She then widened her own eyes and ran towards Naruto while pinching his cheeks, calling him cute. Alright. Stefan then sighed and said, "Meiji, let go of Naruto." This statement alone made Meiji look at her husband with a shocked look while saying, "Naruto, as in Naruto Uzumaki?" Naruto then raises his hand while shouting, "Can someone tell me what's going on?" This made Tsukasa to chuckle and said, "Look, Levi and I are giving you a start in a life to break realities and use amazing powers without chakra." Naruto widened his eyes in response. He then said, "No chakra?" which made Haruto and Urza speak in unison. That and a family you've always wanted. Naruto then started to tear up, and his new parents ran to him to give him a family group hug. A few seconds later, Tsukasa coughed and said, "Also, your training ground / house shall be a sanctuary I just built alongside my good friend Kato Kazuraba." Yeah, that's a good name. "You will be given a sling ring for your basic powers. Oh, a wizard driver just like your father's, a broken sword that can be used well to stop attacks, known as Dragon Tandle, aka the blade that Meliodas had in the beginning of the series, the broken blade thing. Yeah. A mask that will boost your abilities, a cape that can appear out of thin air that will give you the ability to fly, aka Doctor Strange's cape. I forgot it. Did it have a name? Maybe, I don't know. A spell book that you can use that Meiji's from Meiji's training, a miniature version of the Eye of Agamotto, a staff that can be resized by will called the Power Pole from Dragon Ball, a pair of twin guns called Ebony and Ivory from I forgot from dang it, whatever. And finally a pen. This made Naruto confused, only for Shikasa to take out a silver ballpoint pen and give it to Naruto. Naruto grabbed it in confusion while thinking of what to do with it. Levi angrily said, "Press the clicker." As Naruto pressed it, the pen turned into a celestial bronze blade. This made everyone there except for Tsukasa and Levi shout, "What?" Strange then stammered, Tsukasa, if Percy finds out that you replicated I think it was Riptide. It's from Percy Jackson. Tsukasa chuckled, and so did Levi, while saying in unison, "That kid's got nothing on us." As everyone else sighed, Levi snapped his fingers to reveal a giant mansion that's 3 stories high. Rather, to reveal a giant mansion that is a 3-story Victorian-style brownstone townhouse built in French. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. But it is made from an ancient artifact designed with a mansard roof. Tsukasa then chuckled and said, "This is the exact replica of the." I don't know. Nah, this is just a house that they made. I don't know. Yeah. This is just a house that they made, but it's really big and stuff. So yeah. Yeah. As everyone got in, the mansion seems to be more spacious on the interior. Additionally, furniture, doorways, corridors, and even entire rooms that will move, creating a labyrinth distortion of time and space. This made Naruto's eye widen in amazement of how well furnished and built this place was. He then explored all the floors of the sanctuary. He noticed that the first floor houses a foyer, a drawing room, a library, a living room, a dining room, and Meiji's kitchen, which Meiji went to slap Tsukasa for replicating everything in such detail. The second floor consists of a study, the Strange's private bed chambers, the Soma's private bed chambers, a bed chamber for Naruto by his own, and multiple quarters. The third floor was composed of a meditation chamber, mystical library, and the storage area for occult artifacts, which kept everything that Naruto was given by Tsukasa and what the original sanctorium already has. The window of the worlds, a large window on the third floor, connects to the meditation chamber and is decorated with a pattern of anomaly rue, the seal of the Vishanti. Finally, the basement was a storage room, a laundry room, and a magical furnace designed to basically burn everything that was thrown into it, no matter what it was. There was a utility shaft for servicing the furnace that leads from the basement to the third floor meditation chamber. An alleyway on the Fennel place leads to a small courtyard and stables where Valkyrie's steed was kept. This is also a bathhouse with waters that few mortal beings can survive. A medical recovery chamber inhabited by ghosts, and several doors acting as gateways to other dimensions. Yeah. Should I keep going? It's 34 minutes, yeah. As Naruto finished looking around, he went to sit down on the sofa, while his new parents and his new senseis went to discuss some things. With the Destroyer brothers at the kitchen, Naruto came up with the idea of calling Tsukasa and Levi that. A few minutes later, Tsukasa and Levi got out of the kitchen, and Naruto ran up to them to ask something which would surely make everyone to laugh. What Naruto asked was, "Will I get a girlfriend?" This made Tsukasa and Levi to chuckle, and Tsukasa said, "Knew you would say that. So we made sure she was someone you know, and she happens to be outside of the house as of right now." Levi then said, "Anyways, we gotta go. We can't always ask the other doctor in the telephone booth to fix every world's problems." Tsukasa simply nodded and said while snapping his fingers to reveal a gray glasses wall. "Yup, come on, Levi, or else your wife and mine will kill us." With that, both men agreed and disappeared into a glass wall. As hold up for a second. Sorry, I just had to fix something for a little bit. I'm back. So, anyways, as this happened, Naruto looked at his new parents with a confused look and asked, "Is that every day for them?" In which Erza answered, "Yes, Sochi-kun." No. Weird. "Yes, Naruto." No, yeah. Whatever. "Yes, that is totally every day for them." Stefan then was about to say something only for Meishi and Haruto to mouth out, "No, Stefan," which made Stefan to just mumble something inaudible. As the others were laughing, there was a knock on the door and a voice of a girl shouted, "Hello? Is anyone in there?" I refused to make my voice sound like a female's because I would put too much effort. I'm just trying to do this. Naruto then thought, who could it be? Her voice sounded like someone he knew. It was as if Naruto had already met her before. Oh yeah, by the way, this is going to be the ship, if you don't know, because I feel like you would, but if you don't, this is going to be the ship. With this, he was about to tell everyone off, but his adopted father beat him to the punch and opened the door to reveal a fair-skinned girl with a slender build. She had brown eyes that were you know what? Whatever. She had brown eyes that were accentuated by her eyelashes extending into the corners of her eyes. Her most distinctive feature was her long, untamed, dark pink hair that fell past her shoulders, with long parted bangs. With long parted bangs framing each side of her face and one between her eyes. Her attire was a black shirt under a tan tunic with elbow-length sleeves and bore the symbol of the Sound 4 on them. If you don't know who this is, too bad for you. If you don't like the ship, oh well, deal with it. Because I'm trying to find random people that don't get screen time and are kind of sad in the Naruto show to put into this. Not Tenten, for obvious reasons. Yeah, like, bro, that swing in Naruto got more screen time than her. No hate, though. Anyway, this was Tayuya. If you know who she is, then good. If you don't know, well, search her up. One of the former members of the Sound 4 and former Konoichi. While Naruto was thinking of how she was still alive, she said towards Haruto, "I'm sorry, my former master Orochimaru wanted me dead and called a hunter in to kill me. Right now, I just escaped from his attempt to kill me. Please hide me." With that, Haruto nodded and said sternly, "Get behind Naruto. We'll defend you." She nodded and quickly ran inside, but when she saw Naruto, she shouted, "You!" Naruto simply shushed her and hid her behind him. As she was struggling, Naruto looked in her eyes and said, "Look, I know we started on the wrong foot, but now we can't afford to fight each other anymore because I ain't a ninja anymore." So, ninja, what? I ain't a ninja anymore. This made Tayuya think, what does he mean he ain't a ninja anymore? For some reason, Naruto could hear her thoughts and replied, I've been banished from the village for attacking their precious Sasuke without reason. The dark pink haired girl had a shocked expression on her face. As she was about to apologize, a random man in a black tank top, a pair of black tights, a pair of Jonin shoes, and a Oto Hitai Ate. Yeah, search that up if you don't know what it is. Uh, yeah. Wrapped around his forehead, appeared out of nowhere and shouted towards Haruto. Hey, have you seen a pink-haired girl around here? In which Haruto shook his head in denial and said, No, no one with those features came here. The hunter nin then suddenly took out a tanto and placed the blade at Haruto's neck. A big mistake for his part, as Haruto kicked away the tanto and roundhouse kicked the hunter nin in the neck. As the hunter nin fell hard onto the concrete floor face first. Urza stomped on the poor man's neck, and Meiji decided to cast a spell on the man, which was a temporary blinding spell, so that Strange could do his part. With the chance, Strange suddenly opened a portal to the underworld, which made both Naruto and Taiyo have an admiring look plastered on their face. As this happened, Haruto and Urza threw the man into it. Strange and Meiji then closed the portal, and the hunter-nin was gone for good. Seeing everything that just escalated, Naruto had a new promise that he will be the strongest sorcerer in the elemental nations. 2 years later, because I don't feel like adding the whole SpongeBob clip, even though I could. We now see Naruto and Toya sleeping in their shared private bed chambers, naked thanks to their intimate activities. Why? Because they realized that they had feelings for each other a year ago and got married. Not only that, Naruto changed not only his mentality and Naruto not only changed mentally and emotionally, but physically as well. Don't. Nah. Whatever. Gone. Not what? What am I thinking? Whatever. Gone was the spiky-haired boy. Now he had messy yet curly hair. He was taller than the brat he used to be. This was because Urza and Meiji forced him to go on a diet instead of only eating ramen. He was allowed to have ramen, but only once a week, which made him upset at first, but then he complied. Not only that, he had lost his old orange kill me jumpsuit and now wears what his father would wear, only with flame patterned black. Not just think about what he was wearing whenever he fought Pain. And a red shirt. Yeah, think about what he was wearing when he fought Pain. And on the back of on his back was the extendable staff, which I'm gonna call no, I'm not gonna call it anything. You know what? Actually, you guys in the comments, tell me what I should call his staff, because I don't feel like naming it myself. So yeah. He also had a black jacket that faded from black to white from the top to bottom. He also wears a mini-sized version of the Eye of Armageddon around his neck, so like a necklace, along with the wizard driver in Oni scanner form on his belt. So yeah, Naruto also learned everything from the four sorcerer, mage, and wizards in a matter of 2 years, which led to Strange and Meiji to leave this world so that they could take care of their own children in their own world and make sure that Meiji's familiar Frill won't go through hell. Toyuya changed as well. Just like Naruto, she decided to stop her life as a ninja and switch it to become a mage like Meiji. In fact, the Mage of Supremacy complied and made Tayuya her personal student. She was now wearing an outfit that was topped by a red hood cloak fastened on. Hold up, you know what? Let me show you an image of it because I don't feel like describing it. Yeah, so she kind of looks like she's wearing this, but with a hood on. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, which made her look absolutely stunning in Naruto's eyes. She also got curvy like Urza, which made both Haruto and Naruto eyes whiten when they heard the news. Anyways, back to the story. Naruto woke up with the sight of Tayuya laying in her bed on Naruto's chest while asleep, while Naruto sighed and slowly got up from the bed to make sure that his wife, yeah, remember they got married, wouldn't wake up. But to his dismay, she did and said, "Nee, Naruto, just lay down for a few more minutes." Naruto shook his head while saying, "Can't, because I fear Kachan might burn the kitchen down." This made his wife sigh and say, "Fine, come on, let's get dressed and get ourselves ready for the day." With that, Naruto nodded and the couple got dressed in bathrobes. Naruto was red while Toya was white. Yeah, the robes. They then quickly went downstairs to the dining room to see Haruto was the one cooking and Erza was just reading a newspaper that she summoned by snapping her fingers. As the young couple got there, Urza smiled and went to give her son a kiss on the cheek. She then said, "Morning." "Morning, son. How are you?" A 15-year-old boy simply blushed at his adopted mother's gesture and said, "Morning, "Morning, Kachan." Yeah, whatever. What's dad? What's Tochan cooking today? Yeah, that's weird. I'm just calling mom and dad. I can't be saying that's cringy. Anyway, the mother simply sighed and said, "Miso ramen." Which if Naruto was still the dumb brat he used to be, he would have shouted, "Yes!" But since he isn't, he just said, "Oh, I see." With that, the young couple took a seat next to each other and waited for their meal. Suddenly, a knocking sounded. Hold up for a second. Anyway, and back to what I was saying. Suddenly, a knocking sound was heard from on the door, which was very rare, as Strange always told them that the sanctorium can only be seen by magic wielders, and they've checked that no one from the outside can use magic. With this, everyone got ready by snapping, and their equipment was instantly equipped. Haruto then suddenly Haruto then decided that he should be the one to open the door, only to reveal a certain pink-haired and her teammates, who were exactly the people who made Naruto's life a living hell before leaving Konoha. Sakura Hirano, Rock Lee, Ino Yamanaka, Hinata, and Neji Hyuga. As the group of Chunins opened the door, Neji, as team captain, says, is this the Shang, is this the Sanctum, 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 Sanctorium? Yeah, Sanctum, Sanctorium. If so, then we would need help in finding an ex-shinobi of ours. Hinata Haruto, interested, quickly leaned over to the Hyuga and asked, "Who might that be, Hyuga-san?" As Neji was about to answer, Hinata spoke up. Hinata spoke up. Naruto Uzumaki. With that, Haruto nodded and shouted, "Naruto, somebody wants to meet you." Naruto, getting his weapon prepared, simply went to the front door, and what he saw made him feel very angry. He saw his former friends. He saw his former friends. Hinata eeped while blushing, and the others were amazed at how well built he got in 2 years. Naruto then sighed, walked up to them, and said in a cold tone, "What do you want?" In which they flinched at the tone given by the now by the new by the new by the new so what was it again? Yes, Sorcerer Supreme. Lee then tried to make the atmosphere better by saying, "Well, hello, Naruto. How youthful have you become?" But was interrupted by Naruto's hand suddenly going to the Chunin's throat to strangle him while shouting, "You have no say at how well I have been since you decided to beat me up on the day of my rehab." Sakura then tried to say something, but Naruto turned towards her and said, "You wouldn't stop me, but you wouldn't stop. You just wouldn't stop. I cannot say what I'm about to say because I will probably get demonetized, even though I am literally small. No, YouTube somehow is gonna find this, so I cannot say it. Just imagine, because I'm gonna say bleep instead of what I'm actually gonna say. You just wouldn't stop but to bleep Sasuke's bleep. And the same goes for you, you know? If you know, you know. Said girls put their heads down in shame. Neji then tried to say something, only for a fist from Naruto to go to his face. Naruto didn't say anything as he repeatedly punched Neji in the face as you know what, if you guys watched Tokyo Revengers, you remember what Mikey did to Kazutora? Yeah, he was doing that to Neji. As he was done, he turned towards Hinata and said, "Finally, you, the bleep of the Hyugas. Man, branch my bleep." I guess I can't say it. I wish I could. I probably could, but I'm not going to. You are nothing more than a burden to your family, and don't you dare try and think that I will forgive you and go out together, because I am happily married to a stunning woman. This caused the poor Hugo girl to feel heartbroken and teared up. With this, Naruto took a deep breath and asked, "So, why do you need to search for me?" Neji, who had multiple bruises and cuts on his face, said in a beaten up tone, "Konoha needs you back." In which Naruto said, "Pfft, as if." It was then Sakura who answered, "It's not Tsunade Sensei's orders. It's your father's." This made the whole family, including Urza and Tayuya, who went to see what was going on, eyes widen in unison. Anyway, that's a wrap. I hope you guys have enjoyed your day. I know I have. So yeah. I literally have nothing else other than to say, like, I'm sorry for not posting videos for over few months now. Almost a freaking year. Or maybe more than a freaking year. Who knows? But I'm kind of sorry for not posting that many videos. I hope you guys can forgive me. And from now on, I'll try to make longer videos to compensate for how long I've been gone. Tomorrow or maybe Wednesday, I'll be doing part 2 to the series, which will be revealed later on. And I hope you guys have a great night. This was What If Winner, and good